A very good morning to Dr. M. Izura. We hope you are in a good condition. Today, my group are going to present about the anticipatory logistics and pandemic. Logistics is a field that already went through all four industrial revolutions due to creations of Logistics 4.0. As we have seen today, anticipatory logistics is one of the Industry 4.0 technologies that can help logistics sector in reducing cost efficiently and improving customer loyalty. Anticipatory logistics is a supply chain model that provides sophisticated method for anticipating material requirement in logistics. Anticipatory logistics will use the historical data such as shopping history, customer search, product wish list, and cursor movement of shipment. For I state, anticipatory is a pre-built algorithm system functional that used for maintaining all the information in meeting customer need in uncertainty of demand level in future or pandemic. Anticipatory logistics also optimize any processes or activity in supply, procurement, manufacturing, warehousing, order management, distribution, and transportation. Lauti 2016 states, anticipatory is a predictive planning and execution in logistics which provide industrial a variety of new analytic methods for different types of data and information.
I will explain about the definition of the pandemic, which is could be any type of disease such as influenza, Ebola, or as we are facing right now, which is coronavirus, or known as COVID-19. And pandemic is a climate crisis. This is because of the affected people all over the world crossing the borders between the country that affect all of the population in that country and brought major problem to the country. This is because once affected persons crossing the border between the country and into another country, he or she could affect people surround him or her. And it also known as epidemic that occur all over the world because it's spread from person to person until it affects the whole population in that country. Next slide is why pandemic affect logistics. Logistics is affected because of the restriction of the movement of the transportation, which is when the coronavirus happened at that country, the country must have been locked down so that other people could not enter the country, or the people in that country cannot go outside of the country. And this, because of the restriction movement of transport, it caused the goods that has been stuck at the warehouse or distribution center, because modes of transportation it cannot move around like always because of the restriction of the movement. And as in China, where the cargo was backlogged at China's major container ports, which is because of travel restriction that occurred, it led to the shortage of the truck to pick up the containers, and ocean carriers cancel their sailing. So it got fat loss to the company actually. And supply chain disruption and the lockdown are already affecting logistic company, because once the pandemic happened at that country, it would cause the disruption in the supply chain, where the supply chain cannot run as like usually. So because of the lockdown, so it affects the logistic company. It is transport management, which is transportation is part of logistic, where logistic management is a process that plan, implement, and control the efficient, cost-effective forward and reverse flow of raw material, in-process inventory, finished goods, services, and related information. from the point of origin to the point of consumption in order to meet the customer requirement. And transportation is the one that execute the plan that has been made by the logistic management. And for transportation management system is a specialized software for planning, executing, and optimizing the movement of goods. Logistic platform. Transportation management system is a logistic platform by using the technology to help business plan, execute, and optimize the physical movement of the goods for importing or exporting the goods, and make sure that the movement of the good is compliant. Next is cloud-based transport management system, which is it enables the management of software, the central location, and this basic benefit and reason for the deployment of the cloud-based is lie in the storing information in the central location. And the provider could update anything in the cloud without disrupt the user access. Because remote server is the one that manage and deliver the information under the cloud transport management system. And TMS vendor is the one that handles any maintenance together with any updates to the hardware or software as needed, because the company already paid to the TMS vendors for the functionality and specific resources. Business can get shared easily by the cloud TMS, as the TMS user can access the cloud through internet. And that's also make it easier to collaborate with the outside supplier, the partners, and the customers. It is the benefit is for cloud-based transport management system is no infrastructure needed, because it could save the cost, because no infrastructure needed, and the employee only need to have the computers and access to the internet. And from the security, the logistics software providers will ensure that the database in the cloud is protected from the cyber security risks. Transwide is a cloud-based solution for all of the transport management that needs, from sourcing, planning, and execution over settlement to analytic. It also provides a complete end-to-end solution and access to growing global work. By using the Transwide, transport orders are automatically communicate to the carrier and assigned according to the lowest rate in the contract. To source a new carrier's inch, mark your existing carrier, or to price out a lane that shipper can use the spot bidding. And after the bids come in, then the shipper can select the best carrier manually or automatically. And then after the confirmation, the carrier can easily book an appointment for pickup or delivery at the factory or at the warehouse. And the vehicle could be seen and the transport could be seen in the road, could be monitored by the computers that giving the real time update on the truck location, and it will notify the shipper if anything happens to the movement of the transport. Next, transportation management system with logistic 4.0 approach. Industrial 4.0 is the newest phase in the industrial revolution, which is the one that centered around the automation, machine learning, and real-time data. By creating a modern technology transportation management system, which is marks the digital world and allow the high system direction, for making the operational decision based on the personal configuration and interact with the stakeholder. And before this, human is the one that doing the most tasks. But nowadays, more tasks will be taken by the machine learning and advanced analytic software to the Industry 4.0 that promote autonomous decision by making within digitized and robotic in supply chain process. And IoT also a central facet of Industry 4.0 as it joins the physical operation with the smart digital technology, machine learning, and big data to make a more balanced and better environment. And in some company, we can see they are starting to replace the workers with the robots or the machine due to the Industry 4.0. They replace some of the human with the robots in the warehouse to do the jobs at the warehouse. And by doing this, it will lessen the infection of the workers in the workplace. And as you can see in the picture where the machine that replace human at the warehouse, and the picture above where in China, where the robot dentist in China has successfully operated on a human patient without human input, and more importantly without any harm coming to the patient. And this happened in 2017 in China. You can see nowadays robot can replace us as a human in the logistic sector in the warehouse, as you can see in the picture.
The technologies that are implemented with anticipatory logistics are artificial intelligence, predictive analytics, anticipatory shipping, and big data analytics. Artificial intelligence predictive analytics. Predictive analysis is a prediction of the process making through data analytics based on historical data for creating analysis. Anticipatory logistics connected with predictive algorithm for running the data to forecast demand in future event or any unexpected event. Artificial intelligence is smartest technologies tool that provided predictive analytics for predicting demand in future. AI capable to interpret large data information for optimizing supply chain management. By exposing data to AI power predictive analysis, firm can predict customer demand and reduce delivery time with locating inventory to nearest warehouse. Anticipatory shipping. Anticipatory shipping is essential for online supplier to forecast order from customer using present data of customer behavior. This is because anticipatory shipping is capable to deliver goods fastly for customer within or less than 24 hours. Anticipatory shipping will be embedded in predictive analysis and big data to forecast type of goods that wanted by customer in future event. Big data analytics. Big data analytics is about process drawing to create a new or meaningful information throughout a large collection of historical data. Big data analytics are using statistical and mathematical methods for making predictive forecasting demands in future event or any unpredictable circumstance. Big data analytics will be analyzed data for better understanding before creating scenarios or hypotheses for future predictions. Data mining is a key concept for big data that have a precise approaches to analyze data in large collections and converts it to useful patterns. The two main divisions of analytics are descriptive analytics and predictive analytics. Big data analytics help logistics to optimize resources for utilization process, improve transparency, increase service quality, and improve productions and supply chain processes. Anticipatory logistics help big data to improve predictive analytic value performance to anticipate real-time predictions for future events.
The last point of anticipatory logistics and pandemic is inventory management. First, what is inventory management? Inventory management is a process of monitoring and controlling inventory levels and ensuring adequate replenishment in order to meet the customer's demands. Besides that, inventory management has become one of the key elements of the supply chain management, and it can be greatly affect the performance of the business. Determining the appropriate inventory levels is crucial, since inventory ties up money and affects the performance. Having too much inventory reduces the working capitals and impacts the liquidity of the company, while having too little inventory leads to the stock out and missed sales, which leads to the loss of profits. So, what is the main points of the anticipatory inventory management, which is under logistics and pandemic? Here, I bring one of the examples of the pandemic, which is COVID-19. As we know, since COVID-19, most of the governments all around the world were implemented the RMO, which is Restricted Movement Order. Due to this RMO, citizens or the peoples needs to stay more at home, or even they have to work from home. In consequence, this RMO also leads the peoples or the citizens to buy more through online platform, even their own groceries. We can see that the role of full female centers or inventory management or even the warehouse is likely to continue to evolve. Yet, while some storage is absorbed by other parts of supply chain, one of the lessons that we can learn from this ongoing COVID-19 pandemic is likely to be that critical goods and material, be it ventilator, alcohol sanitizer, or face masks, will also need a local storage in the future. On the other side, we might see an increase in the use of the intermediary warehousing. This crisis or this pandemic is showing the vulnerability with globalization and the whole concept of the lean production under the inventory management. And there are naturally limits to how much the warehouse or the inventory could increase. The future logistics must therefore be more than simply a slim down, minimize the cost with the just-in-time delivery of goods. Based on the past or the recent research, 86% of the company in the study plan to use on-demand warehousing or inventory in the next 3 to 5 years, which shows that the needs of the warehousings or the inventory management with properly will continue. But they do not necessarily to have it in-house. It is therefore likely that fulfill center and warehouse or inventory management will continue to be significant component in the future logistics system. Lastly, as for the conclusions, we can say that logistics has played their own big roles during the pandemic. This is because during the pandemic, most of the things would be handled by a system or through the online platform. As we know, by technology, sometimes it gives more challenges, and it same goes to the logistic. So here, logistic needs to be concerned more on the transportations, on how they deliver or ship their goods to the customers, even during the pandemic. Second, they also need the concerns about the customer service, as the customers known as the king. The customer usually would never care about the pandemic as long as they have or they get what they want on time. Lastly, inventory management, which is also under the logistic, is also needs to be concerned where needs to be controlled or monitored properly in order to meet up the 7 rights of logistics even during pandemics. So that's all from us. Thank you and stay safe.